hold on to your lug nuts, buttercups, because I'm going to share with you today my most simple and most raved upon meatloaf recipe. Now, as luck would have it, I had an issue with my oven and wasn't able to use my oven for a while. However, I did have a hot plate, and I used my Dutch oven to make a meatloaf. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, but you know what? It ended up being the most delicious meatloaf I have ever made. So I am sharing my recipe with you and hope that you enjoy it. Now, first, I make this very simply. I don't create my own glaze, and I've just come up with this recipe that's very simple and very, very delicious. So the first thing you want to do is use 3 pounds of a very good high quality ground beef. Don't go below 80% lean, and I would say don't go above 85% lean. If you go below, then it can be too greasy, of course. And then if you go above the 85% lean, I have found it to be a little bit too dry. So add to that, you want to use 2 eggs, 2 cups of Italian breadcrumbs, and then you can put in a little sprinkle of pepper, about ½ teaspoon, about a tablespoon of salt, and then I also use in mine a ½ cup of Italian seasoning. Now to taste, I also add in mine either minced onion, which I prefer. If I don't have minced onion, I will put in about a teaspoon of onion salt, but otherwise I'll use about a tablespoon of minced onion, and honestly, I might sprinkle in a little extra from that as well. And the same is true for a little bit of garlic. So you could put in about a tablespoon of garlic salt, which would be preferable. If not, you can also use minced garlic, and I would put in a little, just, about a tablespoon, a little bit less maybe to taste. And then just put in a little bit of ketchup. You use a good quality ketchup like Heinz, about a quarter cup inside the mix, and that's all that you would need for that. Now what you want to do is first, in a large bowl, or if you're using a Dutch oven like I do, you can mix right in the Dutch oven. Combine your ground beef, your eggs, your breadcrumbs, your pepper, salt, and the Italian seasoning first. And then add in everything to taste, such as your onion and your garlic, and if you prefer ketchup, right in the mix as well. This is what I do. It works out really well. Then you want to mix the ingredients very thoroughly. Make sure that you mix them all perfectly so nothing is clumped together. Honestly, I don't bother to beat the eggs like some people do. I just mix everything in all at once, all together, and just mix it very, very, very well. Make sure that things are combined very well. Then once you're done with that, you just want to form a loaf. And if you're using a Dutch oven, you can just form a loaf as much as possible in the Dutch oven. Or of course, if you're using your regular oven, you can use a loaf pan. Now at this point, you should get a good idea of how the meatloaf's going to taste just by how good it smells. You should smell all those wonderful flavors already. Then once you make the loaf, I just add about another cup of ketchup right on top of the loaf, and it cooks perfectly. Of course, you just want to spread that out very evenly on top of the loaf. And then once you've done with that, if you're using an oven, you want to bake it for approximately 60 minutes on 350 degrees. Or if you're using a hot plate with a Dutch oven, make sure that it's on high. Now, of course, all ovens and hot plates are a little bit different, so you kind of want to keep an eye on it. But after about an hour, just check it for completion and make sure that it's thoroughly cooked. You can slice it. You should be able to slice it well at this point, and just make sure that the ground beef is cooked fully, that it's not red, that it's fully cooked all throughout. And then if it's still has to cook a little bit longer, I would just go at about 10-minute increments until you make sure that it's completely done. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and if you do and it comes out wonderful, please do leave a comment. Let me know how it comes out for you. As always, if you enjoy our content, please do consider subscribing to our channel. Please do leave a comment, like, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.